Okay, so this is a Masters Widow on Busan. So you got Mazoka on the other team. Very nice. You struggled a lot this map, right? You struggled a lot this map, and I know this was a scrim, so I don't know how much choice you actually had in this, but Widow doesn't really fit into any of your team comps at all this game, right? Like the way your team is going to want to play. If we look at them, you got like you got the Lucio Mora, you have the Mei, you have the Death Ball. Pretty much the only thing your team's going to do is try and run the enemy team down. Just like chase, right? Widow doesn't really fit into this. I mean, she can do like she can still do things, right? She can hit shots, stand behind the team and stuff. But versus the enemy comp, you're in a really tough position because they pretty much always had this like situation where they had their own Widow and then they also had some sort of flanking DPS, which meant that you spent sort of the entire game just getting your shit kicked in, right? Like you're in a really tough position. That repeat was very ballsy too, and you go for the ballsiest peaks, considering that especially after this Widow sort of got the better of you a few times, and you're still going for these. I don't know. So like, okay, yeah, yeah. Alright. Taking those angles, yeah, it's alright. Like, you didn't really know what it was. You could have peeked main, but peeking this angle's fine. You should also know at this point that the enemy team has a tracer, I think. So as soon as you know they have a tracer, you're gonna be wanting to like look around and try and work out where they are. I'm assuming you didn't check. You really need to check. But there's a few times later on where you know they've got a tracer, you don't react. So I'll talk about those separately. But so you see, you pick the Widow here. Jump around the corner, pick the Widow. She sees you. You trade shots, you both miss, and then actually we have to watch that full speed. And then you go for the craziest repeat, right? Jump around, miss, and then you jump like over the corner, right? You jump over the corner and land here, and this is just a free kill for this Widow, right? Really not a good one for you to go for. Like, if we talk about the duel actually, like you come up to this corner here, and she's sort of behind this. She's like quite far back, right, against like the back wall. This peak is a lot easier for her than it is for you, right? Because I don't know if you play much CS:GO, but this is a really big thing in CS, where it's like whoever's sort of further away from the wall can get like the wider peak. They can like fine tune their positioning a bit more. They're probably gonna get LOS on you like just like before you do. So generally, the person who's furthest away from the wall sort of has an advantage in this. But for this situation, it's more important that she doesn't have any cover to go back to, right? She doesn't really have anything to kite around, which means the only thing she can do is wait for you to come around this corner, right? If she was back here, like on this corner here, she might take a shot and then hide, and then you're actually in that mind game of who's going to pick first, who's going to be holding the angle and stuff. But here, the only thing she can do is hold the angle because there's no cover for her to go to. So like if you're just gonna hop out, you do this big like jump around the corner. I don't know. That's like maybe if you really think like the enemy Widow's like trash and she's gonna miss, you can just cover like sure. But no. You do not want to go for this. I don't know. This jump around just screws you. And then obviously you didn't know they had a tracer. The better thing to do would have been to, as soon as you see the Widow here, you missed the first shot. You're not in any pressure here, right? Again, going back to the idea that she's against this back wall, she's sort of scared of you peeking this angle at any moment because she doesn't have LOS. You can use that, right? You could back up a bit. You could back up to like here, right? Or maybe a little bit closer to the wall, but like as soon as you trade those first shots and you bust miss, you can back up here, chuck like a venom on this corner just to like tag her if she comes around, and then you can leave, right? Because she's going to be so scared about you peeking this corner that she's going to stay here for a while. And you can at least like look left, like look really hard to your left because you know she can't really push you because she's got to hold the angle. Like you have a chance to look left and like work out what's going on in the fight and see maybe you can help your team in their fight instead of getting stuck in this duel with the Widow, which wasn't really that necessary for you. But this situation happens like in almost every fight for you this game, right? Like you get stuck in a duel with the Widow. If you don't lose the duel, then the enemy sort of flanker has the info on you, and they just come and destroy you. So yeah, the other thing you never really do is use your venom mine nicely. Like oh okay, um, it's it's like you just forget about it. and especially in these situations where you know the enemy team's got a flanker, which, I mean, looking at your comp, there's not a whole lot else that Tracer's going to do than try and hard flank you, right? Um, like, you really have to identify when you're going to take a lot of pressure from a certain hero, and, think about how you can play around it. The best way for you is to actually have, I mean, the first part is actually using the Venom Mine, right? And use it to sort of consolidate your positioning by throwing it out rather than in. Because you do this quite a lot where you sort of throw it at your feet and think you're going to like kite back. But really the best use for it is to give you early info, right? Early info in a way that, so maybe you could chuck on this doorway here. And then you can sort of hard scope main, and if someone does like try and come through this doorway, you're going to get that early info. Right now, there's no real way this Venom Mine is going to get value. I think there were some like better ones to talk about later, but like this is the general example of how you use these Venom Mines, and it really hurts you quite a lot. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so it looks like you get pushed here, and yeah, you could learn a lot from this Widow. Like, alright, in this duel, think about the way she's moving, and try and compare it to the way that you're moving, right? So like, if we look at you first, actually we've got to watch like full speed. If we look at you first, was it you take a shot, you move a little bit to the left, then you do this big jump to the right, and you do the jump again. Like, it's you're jiggling around a bit, but not really good timings to try and dodge the shots, right? Like you were mid-air for 2 of her shots. 2. There's the first one. There's the second one. Like, now if we look at what she does, you can see every time you're about to take a shot, she does a movement, right? She crouches, she moves slightly to the left. Like, she's actually actively she's working out your like shot cadence and actually trying to dodge it. I don't know, like if you're gonna get stuck into these duels, you have to hit shots. You have to like make sure the movement's good. I don't know what else to say about this, because it's like you have chances to hit the shots. You miss the shots because they're dodging well. They have chances to hit you, but you're making it much easier for them than they're making it for you, which is the reason why you lose a lot of these duels this game. You need to take your time. You really need to take your time. Especially after you see this Widow dies, right? The Sombra is under absolutely no threat to you currently. She's not threatening you at all, which means you can really take your time to hit these shots. Instead, you're rushing them. Even right now, when she's shooting you, she only does like 60 damage. You're probably happy to like... Perfectly happy to wait. Also, this Venom Mine. This is the same type of thing, right? This Venom Mine doesn't really do a whole lot for you, because I think you're actually trying to like spawn peek with it. But at least after you see the Sombra is starting to threaten you, you might want to move it, right? You could put it on this corner, maybe. Put on this corner so that if she comes around and she either triggers it or she has to shoot it, in both cases you're gonna know she's close. And like, that's the important use of it. Okay, this is awful though. So sure, like, it's covering this corner, this flank route she could take, but the enemy team, do you pick it? The enemy team can shoot it anywhere on your screen right now. The enemy team can shoot this Venom Mine from anywhere, right? They could be here, they could be here, they could be over here on this right side. Which means that when it gets shot, it doesn't actually give you any info, because all you know is the enemy team is in this area somewhere, right? But you want to put it up in a way that either they trigger it or they shoot it after they've committed, right? If it's right in this corner and someone shoots it, you know they're close, right? You know they're going to be close to this corner. Right now, this doesn't give you any info at all. And like, this is pretty... Like, I don't know, I was going through this VOD already, and like, this is generally the type of Venom Mines that you throw out. You want to be a lot more creative with them. I want to talk a little bit about how you play around this Genji towards the end. You know he's here, right? You know he's here. You know he's here. You heard him shooting. You're fighting here just a minute ago. You know he's here. But you jump up and you hardscope. And I don't know, maybe you think you're going to get like a sick shot on him as he's coming up for you, but this isn't the play. Like, as soon as you see him on your screen and you know he's ready for this dash on you, you want to be unscoping and moving straight away, because you let him get this... he does like 134 damage to you just from dashing up and getting that first right click, because you're scoped in, right? As soon as you see him, you can dodge that combo and not take very much damage. Especially in a situation like this where your team, I think you've already won the fight at this point, right? Like, half the enemy team's respawning. So this peel is coming for you. but you hard-scope and he just manages to delete you before the D.Va comes back up. I think it was another situation too. I'll find the... Oh, yeah, I think it's here, right? Okay, the enemy team pulls sights, right? Enemy team pulls infrasight. So now they know your entire team, I think all 6 of you. Yeah. All 6 of you are clumped right up here, right? Which isn't a good position for you, but it's sort of okay because you're playing the Lucio Moira. Like your plan is basically to like rush to point anyway, so it's not too bad. The problem is they go left and you stay behind, then you grapple up. And you really didn't think about this at all. Not only do they like have sights up, so the Widow is probably going to know that you're going to be coming up here. Maybe you're tracking the what's it called, the timer, but she's going to see you like come back and look to grapple. But more importantly, the Genji is going to see you do this, because you think about it, they have infrasight and your whole team's clumped up on that left side, right? What do you think like that Genji's going to do? He's not just going to stay main. He's going to take all this space that you just left for free, and he knows he's not going to get hurt when he goes to. So when you grapple up here by yourself, he's really happy just to like wait for you and go and kill you. And like you just get annihilated. But if you'd thought about it a bit more, you'd know that like this Genji's only job really is to like chase you and hunt you down. So you need to be playing around him a lot more, especially when it's like in the situation with sights where he's pretty obviously going to have all that space for free to begin with. So I mean, I know it's last fight. So you flank around here, and like I know it's last fight, so like whatever that you're going for this. But I just want to point out like the way the enemy teams would have played this, right? You take a shot from her, she's trying to work out where you are. She realizes you're right behind her, and like what she does, she takes a shot before your shot's fully charged, right? A really quick one, before your shot's fully charged. As soon as your shot's ready, she unscopes, starts strafing, and SMGing you, right? To make it really... oh, God, this recording. To make it really difficult for you to hit that shot, right? If you look at the way she does it, one, boom, and then she starts dodging, so you miss that shot. And now, she's free to take in a shot and shoot you. She doesn't get the kill, but you trade shots, and you're not able to effectively line up that shot because she's got the earlier one on you. I don't know, you could learn a lot from the way this Widow plays these duels. Like this dodge here, because she's actively like tracking your shot cadence, right? So like if we just watch it like full speed, like you land behind her, shot, she knows she can't shoot, so she shoots you, then she dodges your next shot by strafing and SMG. I don't know, it's you could learn a lot from that. Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry the format was a little bit different this time. I do have quite a lot of VODs to do, so I might have to do more of these sort of like first impression type ones. But you really have to be thinking a lot more when you're playing Widow, right? You have to think like, oh, in the enemy's team comp, they have one player, which really the only thing they're going to be able to do is chase me down. So I've got to be playing around that, right? Like you have to use these Venom Mines defensively to try and defend you against that. And in these Widow duels, you're not tracking their shots at all. You're taking these really sort of aggressive peeks, just thinking about hitting your shot, right? Which isn't really the most important thing. Because we can see the enemy team's Widow this game, they were focusing a lot on, dodging your shots by working out your shot cadence. And because they dodge the shots, they have a lot more opportunities to hit their shots, right? I don't know, you can really think a lot more about doing this. Just remember to work out their tempo and try and take those shots at the right times.